Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're tackling one of the biggest speculation points in the Warhammer 40,000 community. Which Primarch could return to the setting next? With several Loyalists and traitor Primarchs already active in the lore, the question isn't if another return will happen, but who. Let's dive in. As of the current 40k timeline, we have 2 Loyalists back in action, Roboute Guilliman and the Lion, plus 3 active traitor Primarchs, Magnus, Mortarion and Angron. That leaves a long list of missing, sleeping, or otherwise lost demigods, and each has at least some narrative hook for a potential return. So first up, Vulcan is arguably the strongest candidate. He's perpetual, extremely popular, and thematically tied to hope and resilience, which Games Workshop loves using as a counterbalance to the Grimdark. His relics are scattered, his sons are looking for him, and the lore makes it easier for him to reappear. Potentially, he could return when he's rediscovered by the Salamanders, or he's drawn by Guilliman to counter the growing chaos threat, or his immortality finally pays off and he just wanders back into the scene. Next up, we've got Jaghatai Khan. Now, the Khan rode into the Webway to fight the Drukhari, and never technically died. With the Webway becoming increasingly relevant in modern 40k, and with the Dark Eldar and Chaos spilling further into real space, Jaghatai's return makes too much sense. Now, potentially, he could escape from Comora, return chasing a demonic enemy, or arrive with a totally changed worldview after centuries of captivity. But he is actually quite likely to come back into the setting. Then there's Rogal Dorn. Dorn is complicated. Officially missing, presumed dead with only a hand left behind. Fans are divided on whether that means anything, but Games Workshop has kept his status vague enough that a return is possible. If they want a stoic tactician Primarch back in the fight, that's probably where they'll go. Now, potentially, he could have been revealed to have survived his last battle somehow, brought back to stabilize the Imperium's faltering defenses, and he could be tied to the ongoing threats around the Imperial Fists and the Phalanx. So he's another possible return. And then we have Corvus Corax. Now, Corax left for the Eye of Terror after becoming a Shadow Demon hybrid. His mutation and self-imposed exile gave him a very clear, big dramatic comeback arc. Think Batman meets Demon Hunter. Now, potentially, he could just emerge from the Eye with new powers, and he could rebuild the Raven Guard. Now, he could also lead covert Imperium-wide shadow operations to combat Chaos influence. Let's not forget, he's also hunting Lorgar, so if Lorgar makes a return, Corax is coming back. Now, for the Demon Primarchs, we've got Fulgrim. Now, this is the big one. Fulgrim's return has been teased and hinted at, and nearly delivered several times. In the 10th edition, he even has a new Demon Primarch model. It feels less like if and more like when. Potentially he could come back launching a full-scale Slaaneshi crusade against the Imperium, and he's a direct rivalry to Guilliman. Now, he could corrupt or resurrect certain Imperial figures as well, so that could be his arc. Then we've got Perturabo, a fan favourite, the master of sieges and machinery. He could return to challenge both the Imperium and the Dark Mechanicum. The galaxy is full of massive sieges right now. Narratively, there's plenty of room for him to return. He could come back leading an Iron Warriors push on key Imperial bastions. He could battle with Rogal Dorn if he returns, and he could be linked to the narrative around the Tyranids and the Imperial Fists. Then we've got Lorgar. Lorgar has been suspiciously quiet. This is the guy who basically created Chaos worship in the Imperium, and he's just been meditating for 10,000 years. His return could completely reshape the metaphysics of the 40k universe. Now, potentially, he could come back by declaring himself the Chosen of Chaos, and he could reignite a religious war or two. He could also oppose the Ecclesiarchy in a twisted mirror of faith. Not to mention, he's being chased by Corax, so there's another link. Then we've got the Lion's brothers, Russ and Ferrus Manus. Now, Liam and Russ promised to return during the Wolf time. With Chaos Ascendant in the Galaxy and the Galaxy of Flame, we might already be there. Ferrus Manus, on the other hand, is extremely unlikely, but never say never in a setting where death is optional and cloning is a random Tuesday. Then we've got Omegon and maybe Alfarius. With the Alpha Legion, anything is possible. That's enough said. So who's actually next? Based on lore teases, model ranges, and ongoing narrative threats, the frontrunners are, for the Loyalists, Vulcan or the Khan, and for the traitor legions, it would be Fulgrim. These Primarchs have the clearest paths for story progression and the biggest potential impact on the setting. But that's just my analysis. Which Primarch do you think will return next, and who do you want to return? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if you enjoyed the breakdown, and subscribe for more lore theory and deep dives. Thanks for watching, guys.